Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bells. Every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. So this whole Caitlin Clark WNBA thing is just, to me, it's just ridiculous. My problem is I don't think those who are upset really understand what they are a part of. They're allowing emotions to get the best of them. And when you do that, it rarely, if ever, turns out the way you want it to. You could be in the middle of something great here and you're going to lose it, or you're on the verge of losing it because your feelings are hurt. You got a situation where this young white lady, great player, student of the game, as you can see, comes in and she's quote unquote, I'm gonna say excelling, not necessarily dominating, but excelling in a sport that's, mainly played by Black players, Black women, or what have you. Even in college, she was hyped up, being a great player, bringing, revitalizing the sport of basketball in college. You had the tennis. She led her team to 2 NCAA championship games. Lost them both, but still, she led them there. But still, she got all the hype. People's upset, like, man, how come everybody's loving her but not loving us? And we're doing this and the third. She even they even try to invite her team to the White House. Like, what's up with that? And they lost. And so you have people, upset, and rightfully so, because in the grand scheme of things, in the real world, in the normal, regular world, that would never happen if it was, 2 Black teams or 2 white teams, or, just 2 teams, just period, 2 equally talented teams, and one lose, one win. Okay, we're just going to invite the winner to the White House. But that was the woman who done that, try to invite them girls to the White House. Well, it's because of Caitlin Clark, because of the hype, because everything she's doing. They got to understand that. Gets to WNBA, she gets drafted first. She comes in and, attendance skyrockets. You have, Angel Reese, great player, phenomenal player. Even she gets emotionally involved in it. I mean, and to me, that's the wrong move. What she should do is just let it take its course, because unfortunately, for some reason, these women, these sisters, are not understanding where they are in the grand scheme of things. You are in a country that has thrived on racism and racial views and racially oriented content since the beginning. And it hasn't changed and probably won't change anytime soon. And you can just say that by what's going on in the world. No matter how you think you're going to change people's minds, you cannot destroy a spirit. You just can't. You can kill a person, the person can die, but the beliefs, ideology, all that stuff will continue to move on and just continue to go, because you got people who will continue to learn and teach, the values that they've been given throughout their life. So my thing is this: what the girls in the WNBA need to realize is it before what they okay, yeah, I'm gonna go there. What they need to do, someone needs to give them a history lesson on how to use racism, the racial thoughts of this country, and money and opportunity to advance. Need to learn how to use it to their advantage. One of the things I see different between men and women is that, like I said, women get real emotional, and they will, if you upset a woman and the house is burning down, before she get out the house, she would rather sit there and watch it burn before she leaves or moves until you apologize to her. whether right or wrong. If he's in the middle of a conflict, something ain't right. Oh, no. You're going to apologize to me. You're going to see it my way, blah, 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 blah. But the house is burned down. Tornadoes coming. Hurricanes coming. There's fire. There's wildfire about to hit us. Whatever. You're gonna see. We're gonna resolve this now. We're gonna resolve it my way. Blah blah blah. That's the emotional part of it. Men, on the other hand, will use the racism to their advantage if it's best for them, best for the economy as a whole, and we'll deal with. Because actually, we won't just deal with it in the end because we know how it's going to turn out. So it's like, in the meantime, in the in-between time, shout out to Willie D, we're going to work it this way, maximize everybody's potentials, get what we can out of it, and then we're going to go back to the way it's been because that's how it's going to go. I mean, that's just how it is. So I feel like I say the WNBA, the women of WNBA need to be given a history lesson on how racism has played a part of sports since the beginning of time. We can go back to Jack Johnson, right? Black champion, great fighter in the early 1900s. Let's say, the white people did not want to fight him or want him fighting against their champion because, hey, they knew it was a good possibility that he would win. And he was brash, he was arrogant, he was out there, messing with white women, this and the third, showed and didn't care about what them white folks think. He gonna be who he gonna be. And that's just what it is. Fought for years against black fighters, fought for years maybe against some white fighters that wasn't champions, weren't contenders, and so forth, so on and so forth. Finally get his opportunity to fight for the championship against a white guy. I can't remember his name. And he wins. The world is in an uproar. He defends the title numerous times and only fighting now. Grant, now listen, now he knew how to play the system. He said himself that, there was a lot of black fighters who wanted to fight him for the title, but he was like, no, because that's not where the money's at. People want to see me fight white people, so give a white man a chance to beat me, and I know they can't. So I'm gonna go ahead and play into that and get as much money as possible. That's what he did. With all the racism going on back then, and I'm talking about not the covert, but the all out in the open racism, where brothers getting lynched. Jack Johnson won the fight, black folks getting lynched. Towns getting burned down. Race riots are happening when Jack Johnson wins, beating white folk up. He in the ring just playing with them, making it last 15, 18 rounds, just toying with the guy, just embarrassing white folks, pissing them off. Winning fights where police gotta stop the fight. You know what I'm saying? And escort him out the arena and stuff. So he's beating up on these white folks. And then there's a guy named Jeffries. Let me see, what is it? Yeah, James Jeffries. That's right. He was a white heavyweight champion, beating people, retired. The dude was retired for 6 years. White people were so desperate to have Jack Johnson get beat that they brought a guy who was 6 years out of retirement to come to fight him, to try to get that belt from him because they could not stand him. But Jeffries played into it. Jeffries was one of the original Great White Hopes. He comes out of retirement after 6 years, and when they get in the ring, matter of fact, a ring was built specifically for, I think was it Reno? But the ring was built specifically for that fight. They said the first and last time in America that an arena was built for one fight. And it was like 16,000 people. I looked at my notes right. 16,000 people attended. And it's like Jeffers got like $101,000, which is equivalent to like $3 million today, which ain't, compared like these fights. Yeah, he probably could have got 10, 20, $100 million easy. But anyway, they built an arena specifically for this fight because they felt like, Jeffers was going to save the white race. He get in there and he pretty much gets annihilated. Where again, Jack Johnson's just toying with him the whole fight to where they pretty much, had to stop it. I think after 15 rounds, something like that. But they said the money, like I say, draw the big crowd, the money that was made, and they kind of played into the whole racial thing, not too much, but just enough to get the people involved. Made a lot of money. Then finally, once Jack Johnson, and again, like I say, black men got lynched, riots, and all that kind of racial riots stuff happened. Status quo. Eventually, a few years later, Jack Johnson loses, and it takes about 20 something years before the next champion can come in. Was it Joe Louis? Before they allowed him to fight, and they told him, "Hey, can't be no Jack Johnson. If you just go in, if you win, you just wave and you walk off. All that flamboyant stuff we ain't gonna have. All that disrespect of the white race we ain't having." And so they allowed Joe Louis to be the champion. Still no racial overtones there. Still getting called boy and the N-word and all that kind of stuff. But then, like when he fought Max Schmeling, was he a Russian or a German or something like that? Now he's an all-American boy because he's fighting the Germans and beating the Germans up. They had like a nice little rivalry. He win, Max Schmeling win, and go back for whatever. I don't, not sure exactly what the record was, but I know he beat Max Schmeling more than Max Schmeling bet. He beat him. And I think they even became friends, I think, after that. But there was a whole, that was a, that wasn't racial. That was more like, country patriotic thing. Anyway, Muhammad Ali comes, same thing. They don't like him. He's brash. He's arrogant. What was that guy? I can't think of his name. It was the Brooklyn Bleeder. He fought this white dude, and I think it's what they said Rocky was based off of, the movie Rocky, based off of this white guy who was fighting and just, bleed all over the place, tough, blue collar, hard-nosed, white American. Muhammad Ali beat him, but, that was a big hype fight. What else? Larry Holmes. Larry Holmes, probably one of the greatest underrated fighters of all time, especially in the heavyweight. This dude had 48 wins, but then ends up losing his last fight over his 49th victory over a split decision. Well, nobody gonna let you, not a heavyweight, get to Rocky Marciano's record. You got to be kidding. But anyway, before that, after he won like his 39th fight, and he was beating everybody, here comes a guy, another great fighter at the time, a guy named Jerry Cooney. White dude. That fight is made, and thanks to Don King and the managers, they made that a big racial event called Jerry Cooney, the Great White Hope. Thing about it, Jerry Cooney said he didn't like that nickname. He didn't like that. He just didn't like that whole racial aspect of it. Larry Holmes didn't like that either. But Don King and Jerry Cooney's managers knew that if they played that up because of this country, you understand what I'm saying? Nothing that they created, but it's here. It's how the country is. Like, man, we can make a killing off of that. Larry Holmes himself said that was the most money he made in any fight he ever had. Any fight. We're talking about the 80s? When right now that people making like hundreds of millions of dollars for fights. He said it's the most money he ever made in a fight because it was built up as, black champion going against the Great White Hope. The Great White Hope is going to defeat the undefeated champion, and it's going to stop him from getting close to Rocky Marciano's record. I mean, and it's an Italian fighter. I mean, dude, you couldn't script it any better. And the managers and the nation, they went with it. Hell, let's say even the president of the United States was Ronald Reagan had a phone put in Jerry Cooney's dressing room to, wish him luck and to congratulate him if he won, but wasn't nothing like that in Larry Holmes's dressing room. But hey, everybody ate it up. They say, I think it was like the fight had the largest attendance in was it Reno, I think, not Vegas, but maybe wherever the fight was held, the largest boxing attendance in history. Why? Because you had white versus black. Larry Holmes wasn't racially disrespecting Jerry Cooney, and Jerry Cooney wasn't racially disrespecting Larry Holmes. As a matter of fact, Larry Holmes said in an interview recently that him and Jerry Cooney are still cool. They're good friends right now. They talk periodically. But it's the country ate that up and money was made. NBA and the WNBA should definitely look at this, because this is your the league that you modeled yourself after, that you was birthed out of, was the NBA. The NBA, they say, was not making a whole lot of money in the early inceptions. Well, from the 50s to the 80s, it's like it was hemorrhaging money, as they would say. But then along came Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, two great players, two quote unquote rivals since college. And they was bringing a lot of, let's say, a lot of publicity, putting a lot of eyes on basketball since college, because you have, white people versus black people. And racist people like to see that. They want to see the white guy beat the brash, smiling, friendly, over the top black dude. So it started in college, but Larry Bird, Indiana State, couldn't beat Michigan State in the national championship game. So, they didn't win. But still hyped. Larry Bird comes and he amazingly gets drafted by one of probably the most racist cities in the country, in Boston. And so he fit right in, but he was not comfortable with the title and all the notoriety on the racial aspect. He didn't like it, but he just, he always downplayed it, talked about basketball, kept it professional, kept it about the sport, Magic Johnson too. And it was just, that's how they played it. Hell, they even played, I think, against each other 3 times in the national NBA final game, NBA finals series. I think, the Lakers won more, but yet they both Boston and the LA won titles in the 80s and 90s, while these two guys are playing. So, they are giving credit for bringing the eyes back to the NBA, building the NBA, making the NBA to where it is today. They launched it. They launched the popularity, the notoriety, the contracts, and then here comes, Michael Jordan, who just took it to a whole nother level. They, promoted him, and it just blew up, and it is where it is. But again, because of the racial history of this country, Magic Johnson and Larry Bird were able to bring a lot of money, a lot of notoriety to the NBA. That's just how it is, man. So now the WNBA got the same opportunity. And what do you got? You got players who are just showing their disdain and hatred and jealousy. I'm gonna say it's jealousy because of all the attention that this one girl is getting. But here's the thing. She's getting the attention and the numbers are backing up the attention. So the question is, why are you upset? But why this? No, not why you go upset. I can understand. You work hard and here comes somebody young. But it's in the regular corporate world. Same thing happens. Especially in senior nursing. Get older nurses. They got older nurses to be working there. Then you get these new nurses come in, and the older nurses can't. It said nurses eat their young is a saying that I heard since school. Young nurses come in and old nurses get mad. First of all, young nurses might be making more money than they get. Then they have to probably do less than what, old nurses say, man, when I started, we didn't have a med aid. It was just us. And if we had 50 patients, 50 residents, we had to, wheel at the cart down the hallway with 50 residents. Now we got med aids and they, and the nurses ain't got nothing to do, which is not true because nowadays you got to do a whole lot more documentation than you did 20, 30 years ago, whole lot more. So it's less about patient care and more about making sure your notes are straight so you don't get sued by somebody or the state won't come in and shut you down. Things have changed. But anyway, like I said, but it's in corporate America that when the new people come in, the older people, they'll feel some type of way because basically, really, you coming in to take their job. But this is the makes it even worse because now you got somebody coming in and the world is embracing them. It's not done, like status quo. It's not done because you're getting old and losing your step, your speed, your skills, not your skills, your abilities. And somebody just coming in and taking your place. It's somebody you can still be a great player. And somebody coming in and they hyping them up. They getting shoe deals that you didn't get. You flying charter planes that you didn't do, that you wasn't flying before. But instead of like saying, embracing it, because here's what a smart person would do. A smart person would see what's going on with Caitlin Clark and would probably try to team up with her. Get on her side. Not necessarily, not even saying about kissing butt, but be cool with Magic Johnson, Larry Bird. They were cool. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't like just best of buddies, but they wasn't out there trying to fight each other, try to, and disparage each other in the media and stuff like that. They just, they played the game and was cool, was competitive with it and ran with it. And understood the assignment. But these young ladies here, they, like I say, I don't understand it. They're missing the whole thing. You got somebody who could bring the money. You complain because nobody comes to the games. You complain you're not getting support. So then I'm like, I understand that. You got women who say they should be making the same amount of money as the NBA players, but you want it to be equal without putting in the work. See, the NBA had to put in the work for years before they got to where they at now. Y'all have been around maybe 20 something years, maybe 30, maybe. I was in high school when it started, but I don't know. I ain't followed it too much. So 20, 30 years, maybe. And y'all think y'all should be making the same amount of money or, the players should be paid like the men players, but you aren't on that skill level. You're not selling out arenas like that. So now you have a chance to build, to nearly get to that status, and you finna poo-poo it away because your feelings hurt. because your feelings hurt. Because, whatever. White girl come in and taking all your shine, which you had no shine in the first place. She coming in bringing shine, and y'all not running with it. Shoot, I'd be like, hey, let's do some commercials. Let's do, hey, do you want to do a basketball camp with me? All-star game, let's get her on. And I think, oh man, in the Olympics, I think the Olympics messed up not putting her on there. I don't care if she knew. I don't care if you're trying to do the politically correct thing. If this child is on the Olympics, there's potential to bring hundreds of millions of dollars and hundreds of millions of eyes to the sport of women's basketball in America. Because there's no way in the world why women should have to, there's no reason in the world why women should have to go to a whole nother country to make $1 million to play basketball in the off season. No reason. When basketball was born and bred in the United States, something's wrong. Something is terrible. And we're talking about the superstars of the WNBA. Should not have to go across seas to make money, to make the money that they're not making here. Brittany Griner shouldn't even have to go to Russia to make money. So something is missing. So the frustration is taken out on the wrong person. Caitlin Clark is not it. Can she dunk? No. Can she run a 440? Probably not. I doubt it. But the girl can play ball and she's bringing it. Like I say, she's bringing the attention to the sport. You got to embrace that. Like it or not, you got to embrace it because in the end, what's the thing? Well, what's the goal that y'all want? Like I say, y'all want the attendance. You want the pay. Now it's here and you just don't like the way it's done. I remember, this is an off topic, on topic story. I remember it was a lady I worked with years ago. And I remember she was talking about her and her husband relationship, and she was talking about, like I said, this is off topic, but it goes to the point. And she was talking about her husband don't, basically okay, the cliff noted, she was upset because she said, I can walk around the house naked and my husband won't even look at me. He just keep watching he keep watching the TV, doing what he's doing. He won't even pay attention to him. And I told her, I said, okay, here's what you do. Don't pay attention to him. I say, walk through the house, have you like a wife beater on, maybe like some lace panties. That's it, get lotion, look halfway decent, whatever. But not nothing to where it just looks like you just trying to attract attention, but look natural. But like I say, just instead of being naked, like I say, some lace, nice little cheeky panties, a wife beater, and clean the house. Walk through the house like you don't want attention. Just typical, wash dishes, vacuum, whatever you do, just do that. Try that and then come back and tell me what happened. So little time passed, we in the break room talking. And I said, hey, you do what I told you to? Say, yeah. I said, what happened? She was like, he was all on me. I said, really? I said, yeah. And she was pissed. She's like, he's not on, but that's not what that ain't what I wanted. You know what I'm saying? Why do I do that? I said, first of all, when it comes to men, it's like Tupac said, hate to sound sleazy, but tease me. I don't want it if it's that easy. Classic lyrics. Make a lot of sense. That's how we are as men. Period. You understand what I'm saying? But the thing is, back to she was upset that she got the reaction that she wanted, but it wasn't how she didn't get it in doing what she wanted to do. But I'm like, if you want this result, do it this way. But if you keep doing it that way, you're gonna continue to get pissed off. You're dealing with somebody who's not thinking like you're thinking. You have to think like other people in order to get them to respond the way you want them to respond. So if you want the money, you want the attendance, you want the merchandise being bought, you want people to start seeing you. Hell, I know it's another story. Real quick, Tim Brown. I remember he said that he was, ex Hall of Fame football receiver for the LA Raiders. Straight come from Dallas. Remember he saying Roosevelt High School. Remember he told a story how there was a coach in Notre Dame who's coming down. This is back in the 80s, so when no social media at all, come down to watch a different player, to recruit a player. I don't know if it was for Velt or for another school, but Notre Dame recruit come down to watch the game. Tim Brown said never before and never after did he score like 4 touchdowns and get all those yards. At one game, Tim Brown said he excelled. That one game got him a full ride scholarship to Notre Dame. And the rest is history. Had a Hall of Fame career at Notre Dame and in the NFL. See what I'm saying? It's like you just when they say when the iron, you got to strike when the iron is hot. When an opportunity comes, you take it, right? And you excel. So our eyes could be coming to watch Caitlin Clark play, but if you're playing that game, instead of flagrant fouling her, elbowing her in the head, hip checking her for no reason, trying to injure her, bringing negative vibes to a game, get out there and score 50 points. You know what I'm saying? Shut her down. You know what I'm saying? Play defense to where you can shut her down, steal the ball from her a couple of times. Shake her hand and hug her before the game and after the game and show sportsmanship. That right there is what's going to bring eyes to the sport and keep eyes on the sport. But this negative crap that y'all doing and all this complaining, like I said, and trying to injure this child, you're not going to get the outcome that you want. And that's the point of my whole story. All this racism when you got former owner, what's her name? Kelly Loeffler saying, Caitlin Clark can save the league from error of his ways. Yeah, there's some errors because you're trying to get political. You're trying to do Black Lives Matter, all that kind of stuff. That's not going to bring you the money. you're going to have to embrace in this country until, and here's the problem. And this is one thing I said in other videos, and I'm trying to probably end it here. I was going to read a couple of articles, but nah, ain't no need to. I can hit a couple of stats right quick, and that's probably what I'm gonna end on. But let's see. It talk about what was that? Let me see. Let me look at attendance. Like attendance, you want the numbers, but this is from wishtv.com, and it says report WNBA attendance is 105% higher when Caitlin Clark plays. What you upset about? If you got more seats in the stands, that means more money should be coming into your pocket. You embrace that because Caitlin Clark is not out here wearing no Klan mask. She's not out here calling you the N-word, not out here eating bananas, throwing bananas in your face. None of that. She's just playing basketball, and you're mad at her for what the world is bringing. Kind of like rapping in Eminem. Eminem, well, he did use racially. Damn, he did do a racist song back in the day. But anyway, but when people didn't know about that, Eminem came, got to rapping, brought more eyes to rapping, but people got upset because he was a white dude and sold 11 million records. I mean, hey, it ain't his fault. It is what it is. But my thing is, if, like I said, the players, coaches, or whoever who getting upset with Caitlin Clark, you need to be upset with your fans. You need to get on your fans more than you get on her, because your quote unquote fans are the ones who ain't coming to the arena, ain't buying the merchandise like they should be, ain't watching the games on TV, not demanding. Yeah, Caitlin Clark game was on TV the other day. I missed it. Like we saw it pull up, and I saw Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark on there. I say, let's stop and watch it. I didn't know it was coming on. We were just Father's Day. Game was on, but by the time we turned on, it was going off. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, like I said, I would have sat there and watched it if I would have known. If, you know, so I would sit there and watch it if, you know, say if I got to it, if we got to it early enough, but we didn't. But I didn't know what's gonna happen. I ain't in the world like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not into the WNBA like that. You see what I'm saying? But I would have been a casual viewer who would have said, hey, wait a minute, let's watch and see what the hype is about. You see what I'm saying? That's how you bring the eyes. That's why I say the eyes are getting on the game. And then if I watch the game and I'm seeing you know, like I say, scoring 50 or, you know, dunking every other play or, you know, blocking shots, stuff like that. Say, hey, who's that girl right there? You see what I'm saying? That's how you play it. But like I said, the problem is the league is going to let these players jack it up. And that ain't what they want. That is not what you want. But anyway, you know, that's pretty much all I got. Like I said, I was going to read, like I said, a couple of articles to try to, you know, hone in on exactly what I was saying. But I think I said enough. I think I've got my point across. There has to be an embrace of what's going on. Or if not, you're going to lose it. You're going to lose your opportunity. And when Caitlin Clark gets hurt, not saying when, but if she retires early, or whenever she gets out the sport, let me say it, good or bad, positive or negative. Once Caitlin Clark is out of the sport and there's nobody there to take the torch, WNBA is going to go right back to where it's been and probably even lower. And that would cause them to even get shut down even sooner. But anyway, tell me what you think about this story. Leave your comments below. Let's share it with the world. Let's dialogue, man. Let's have an intelligent conversation like we normally do around here. Hey, don't forget to support the channel. You can like, share, comment, and subscribe. 4 ways you can support. Don't cost you a thing. Or maybe a couple of minutes out your day. But if you like to support monetarily, you can go to the description box, click on some links. Matter of fact, one of the products I have is Choco or Blue, Morale Blue. It's a cologne for men, perfume, really. Long lasting, you know, luxury, elegant fragrance. Last all day, smell great. You love that. And plus I got female perfumes and things like that. Got silk scars, 100% silk scars, like not knockoff, but high quality, everything. But you can get that on marlamorale.com. But with that being said, yeah, I appreciate how, if y'all don't forget, yeah, super thanks, super chats, you can do that too. But however y'all support that, just watching this is great. You can just put a thumbs up on it. That'll just, you know, be the icing on the cake. But with that being said, I leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.